There's a terrific opportunity in front of us right now for real estate investors in the Triangle region of North Carolina. In order to understand the opportunity that's at hand, we need to talk a little bit about real estate cycles and the recent downturn in the real estate economy, what we call the Great Recession from 2007-2008 through December of 2011 or 2012, depending on what part of the country that you're in. If you look at the slide in front of us today, you can see that up until the year 2000, real estate values were growing at a very steady rate of about 3.5%. But beginning around the year 2000, real estate began to heat up. Values began to increase as demand increased. And on a national level, we saw a steady climb in real estate values up until the middle of 2007. If we want to look at that on a regional level, here in the Triangle, the dates are a bit later. In fact, we thought here in the Triangle we might escape the recession altogether because of the nature of our economy. But that wasn't true. We were just later going into the recession, and quite frankly, we were later coming out. On a local basis, the recession began in about April of 2008. And the statisticians at the Multiple Listing Service tell us that over the 4-year period from 2008 through the end of 2012, homes in the Triangle lost approximately 25% of value. Now, talking about the real estate industry being cyclical, I can tell you in the time I've been in the real estate business, there's been a pattern of ups and downs. There are always peaks and valleys. But in real estate, that has always been on an upward trend. There have been up and down cycles, but always at an increasing upward rate. What we know is that there are periods after each recession or each downturn in which there's a steady gain in values as the real estate economy climbs out of that low point. We happen to be in one of those times today. It's sort of unique. Really, over the last 40 years, there have only been a few times, as indicated by these hash marks, where we could sit together and know what the forecast for the next 3 to 4 years is, because as we climb out of a recession, there's always been a steady and upward gain. If we go back and look at this timeline for the most recent cycle, you can see that we're well past the trough. We've begun our recovery, in fact, are well into our recovery. And the reason that I want to share this graph with you is I want to focus on the dotted lines at the end of the curve. Those are projections made by a group of 100 industry experts that were gathered together and surveyed by Pulsenomics, a national economics firm. And those experts say that in the next 36 to 48 months, we're going to see steady and upward growth in real estate values. On the slide in front of us now, the green line shows that the most optimistic procrastinators in that group, prognosticators in that group, indicate we might see as much as a 30% gain over the next 48 months. The average of all 100 experts say that we can expect somewhere north of 20% gains in value. And even the most pessimistic members of this group of experts say that we could look for about 14% gain in value. My point here is the 100 industry experts who should know best about what to expect in the coming period of time say that over the next 36 to 48 months, we're going to see steady growth upward in the real estate industry and the values of properties. There's some good appreciation and value in store. Another way to array this same data or look at this same data is instead of a line graph, in a bar graph. As you'll see with the black bar, in the 13 years before the real estate bubble began, we saw a steady growth of about 3.5, 3.6% a year in housing values. Then in the 7 to 8 years of the bubble period, from about 2000 up through 2008, we saw housing values increase on average at 7.5%. And that increased over time faster and faster, so it was much more than that as we approached the bust. And then the red line indicates what happened during the 4 to 4.5 years of downturn. We lost over 5% of value per year. The light blue line shows that we've had a pretty solid recovery since 2012. We've seen values climb back at about 3.9% a year. And then to the far right of this graph, you'll see again those predictions. The most optimistic group believes that values will increase 4.7% per year. The average of all the 100 experts surveyed say it's going to be more like 3.5% per year, and the pessimists say 2% a year. Interesting to look and see what those who should know say we're in store for in the coming years. If you want to learn more about the opportunity that's present for us now, we invite you to give us a call, stop by our office, or check us out on the web at www.blockrealty.com.